Panda, 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 panda. I got broads in Atlanta, just to lean the family. Credit cards in the.
The demographic transition model can be really hard to understand with all the different variables and the classifications of each stage, so we're going to go through and break it down piece by piece so we can help you understand it.
Hitting the licks in the van.
The classification of stage 1 countries includes things like low population growth. This is because although the birth rate is extremely high, the death rate is also extremely high due to things like viruses that cannot be helped because of the low advancement in the country, so there's no medical attention being able to be given.
Going out like a Montana, 100 killers on the helmets.
The classification of stage 2 countries changes a little bit because the death rate declines rapidly, and if you remember from stage 1, that was what kept the population even. So because of this, the total population rises from stage 2 all the way to stage 3. The decreasing death rate is mostly due to significant improvements in health, especially in pediatric care, and that's why the infant mortality rate goes down as well. Let's also not forget that in stage 2, people finally learn how to stop being dirty animals, and sanitation goes up. In stage 3, people finally learn how to stop having babies due to the introduction of family planning in most countries. This helps reduce the total population growth. Also, death rate lowers slightly. More education opportunities are offered in stage 3 countries, whereas before education was not an option for the population. Stage 4 is where most highly developed countries are at this point. The total population growth has finally evened out, and the birth rate is extremely low, as well as the death rate. Education is extremely ample, and most people are educated, as well as healthcare that is around for most people as well. Rural communities start getting smaller as cities grow, and rights for other groups such as women go up. Stage 5 is kind of like a giant maybe sort of stage. The birth rate theoretically goes down to the point where the total population growth actually lowers, and in this stage, countries are highly developed, and viruses from past stages such as stage 1 and stage 2 come back mutated.
The chopper go out for granted. This nigga bullet your bandit. Hope the killers understand it. I got broads in Atlanta.
So you might think that's the end of the video, but just because I like you guys, I'll give you some other tips on what the DTM affects and how it can relate to other models. Rosenstein's laws of migration talk about how people migrate to larger countries or more rich countries and where they migrate to. You can link this back to the DTM by the correlation between the fact that stage 1 and stage 2 countries have high exports of people, while stage 3 and up kind of have low exports because, as stated in Rosenstein's laws of migration, most people go to richer countries and to big cities instead of the smaller countries. In addition, it should be noted that not everybody goes to richer countries, it's just most of the time the bigger cities are located there. Rostow's model of the economic development is similar to the DTM because it has 5 different stages, and each stage follows closely with each stage in the DTM as it describes the transition of economic development from traditional society all the way to the age of mass consumption, which follows almost completely with the DTM throughout their stages. And who could forget the population pyramids, which basically are the closest things you can link to the DTM, because you can look at a population pyramid and point out what stage it's in. Also, you can see what stage a country is in and basically point out what population pyramid it would have. Almost anything that's happening in the country can be explained by what stage you're in, what stage that country is in. And so I would challenge you to try and find things in the country that's going on and link it back to the DTM and see how it matches up to its stage.